Good evening. Welcome to this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show, Red Pill Edition. My name is Leon Jones, and tonight I'm going to get into an interesting topic, but I'm going to talk about this old succubus. Now, I go around the manosphere, watch a number of videos. Many of us know what the problem is, but we are afraid to discuss the problem. A number of us here in the red pill sector, the MGTOW sector, the Idmore, we talk about women. We talk about their behavior. But sometimes we got to put the brakes on, and we need to analyze who are these women. And in this video, I'm going to tell you who these women are. So the topic of tonight's video is the old succubus brings nothing to the table. The old succubus brings nothing to the table. Now, I had to put this out here because when it comes to dealing with a number of these older women out here, and I'm not saying all older women, and when I'm describing older women, I'm talking about the ones who have this modern, westernized feminist ideology, because the ideology is engulfed in misandry, which misandry is the hatred of men, fake independence, and they have the welfare mindset. And a number of these old succubi believe they are entitled to having a man based on what they have. And what they have is a degree from a college, they have a good job, and they claim they have their own house and car. Well, that's good. But here's the problem. What we as men look for in a woman, we look for somebody who's going to build a family, or somebody who's going to build a partnership with, somebody we can build a partnership with. But you see a number of these old succubi, they made their poor decisions when they were younger, and then they replicated these same decisions as they were growing up. And finally, when the clock starts to catch up with them and their looks start to fade, now they want to get serious, and they want to get married. But here's the problem. You're like the banged up car. You come with too much baggage. And you have a lot of demands that you can't provide. And this is what coming to the table is. If you ask me, what can I bring you? Well, I can bring you my knowledge, my discipline / structure, my innovation, my ingenuity, my work ethic, my financial stability, my protection, and I can bring you a lot more. But see, the problem with a number of you old succubus or succubi is you want to come to the table when it's already set, but bring nothing. And what you hold hostage over, man, is your high mileage vagina. And when it comes to being a wife, many of you don't even know how to be a wife. You can't cook, you can't clean, but you can go to work, you can go to church, you can live off the government, you can get on social media all day, and you can get a degree from an accredited institution, and you can throw it in my face. And then you can go ahead and tell me how much retirement you got, and you can put down the types of jobs that men do that are blue collar because you think your corporate job is much better than his. But at the end of the day, men, for the most part, are builders. They can do any job they want to do because we can use our hands and our mind. A lot of you women are going to jobs that you just push paper all day. You're not producing anything. And affirmative action allows a number of you older women to be put in positions as bosses, even though you can't take care of yourselves and your own children in your own home. And at the end of the day, when it comes to particularly we as black men, when we deal in the black community, it's really hard for us because when it comes to black men making a decision, none of these sisters don't trust us, and it's these older sisters because they think we're going to make the same mistakes that their old boyfriends made. They couldn't trust men in the past, so they're not going to trust a man in the future because a number of these sisters bring their old baggage into new relationships, and this is why the relationships with a number of African American women are always temporary. And when you ask them about bringing something to the table, they will not answer the question. And when you put truth out there to a number of these African American older women, they buckle. Why? Because when they're in a hot seat, they got to think about what they can bring to the table. They don't have to think about it. The answer is they can't bring anything to the table. This is why they use their vagina as a weapon. And what they do, they try to pass themselves off as recycled virgins. But at the end of the day, they're not. They're used up. They have depreciated. They have hit the wall. They think they can be young by putting themselves on all these social media sites. And I tell you another thing this old succubus does. She loves to hide her body type. If you go to Plenty of Fish and some of these other sites, they'll put two descriptions of their body. They'll put either average or not willing to say. And when it comes to their age, they lie about their age. And when you catch them lying about their age, they throw a shaming tactic at you. You should never ask a woman her age. You should never ask a woman her weight. And see what they're doing. They're throwing all these old cliches at a man because she doesn't want to deal with the truth about herself, but she wants to tell you the truth about yourself. And a number of these old succubi, they're misandrous. In fact, these old succubi don't even get along with each other. The only time they will come together is when there's a man involved. Because these old succubi stab each other in the back. There's no sisterhood with them. You cannot even have a one-on-one conversation with them. Because you as the man is the one who's always going to be wrong in their eyes because they live in a land of delusion. They've been lied to so much, they love living a lie because the lie makes them feel good. Now, if one of these old succubi asked me what I could bring to the table, again, I can bring in my education, my ingenuity, my creativity, my knowledge. I can bring in my protection, my financial stability, my leadership, my love, and I can give them most of all a home that they will be happy to be in. But see, a number of women, and I'm talking about the old succubi, she can't answer that question because she really has nothing to bring to the table. And when we deal with the old black succubus, what she wants a man to do is already have the table set for her. See, she's not going to go through the growing pains because she's not that patient. So she's going to sit out there while you build, or she may go to another man and get what she wants that you're not giving her at the time being with another man. And then when everything is built, she'll come back. But it's too late then. She's already hit the wall, and the man is going out to look for someone that he does not have to butt heads with every day. You see, with this old succubus, everything is about them. It's about their feelings. It's about what they want. But the real answer that a lot of us already know, but we fail to say it, is this old succubus wants to be in control. She wants a man to be subservient to her. She feels because she has everything that's been provided to her by the system that she has power. Her power is false power. The only reason why a number of these old succubus got into these positions is because of affirmative action. They didn't work for it. And companies get tax breaks for hiring women. You see this old succubus in the workplace. She wants to do anything to get you fired. In the home, particularly, let's go back to the black community. The black old succubus, she'll use the police to get you out of the house. In fact, a number of these old succubus, they don't even like black men. And when it comes to paying child support, they're happy to see that black man in jail, even if the child support isn't paid, because she's very vindictive. Again, it's not all black women, but a lot of what's going on when it comes to the problems with women, it's these older women. They just had an abortion law passed in Alabama, and it is extreme abortion law. A lot of feminists are upset. Because, see, some of these older women have passed their expiration date, but they don't want the younger women having babies to build families. They don't want the younger women getting married. Because the purpose of having kids is to continue the family lineage. You can pass down legacies. But with these old, bitter succubi in charge of everything, they want to control these younger women, because these old succubus women, they can't compete with these younger women, because these old succubi women have already hit the wall. And they hit the wall a long time ago based on life's decisions. They're not youthful. They're bitter. When you have tried to have a conversation with them, it's a headache. It's nothing but constant confrontation. She does not want to listen to you. You can't teach her anything. She knows everything. And because she runs her mouth so much, she will not bring anything to the table. But she expects you to give her everything. She thinks she is the prize. And at the end of the day, with that kind of thinking, men are getting more and more depressed. They're committing suicide. These are the women who will put men on child support. These are the women, when they get tired of being married, they will go right down to the courthouse and get a divorce. These old, bitter succubi hide behind, again, their degrees. They hide behind their jobs. Again, they love social media because it makes them feel good. But when it comes to raw truth, put them in a hot seat, they buckle. Why? Because during the 1990s, these old succubi got on these daytime talk shows. And they explained to the talk show host, who was a feminist, like Sally Jesse Raphael and Jenny Jones and Ricky Lake and Rolanda Watts. And they had their point of view when it came to black men, and of course some white men. And they were telling these hosts about being oppressed. Well, the problem is men didn't have a voice, so men took it. So when a platform like YouTube came out right around 2007, and men started voicing their opinions, the women didn't want to take it. And the ones that did do something, when it came to getting men's voices off of YouTube, they went to the system. They got their videos flagged. That's still happening today. And as a man, it is your job to seek truth. And what you bring to the table to a number of women, you bring your wisdom. You bring your education. Because even, let's talk about a man having education. when men have education, these women still try to marginalize their education. Because what it is, with a number of these women, these older women, they always want to one-up a man. Always try to make a man feel like he's less than she is. Just because she's been given a lot of opportunities. She hasn't earned those opportunities. She's been given a lot of those opportunities. And when it comes to these older women, they think, based on what they have, they know more than you. This is why they don't want to take direction from you, but they want to give you direction. They don't want to serve you, but they want you to serve them. But when it comes to this old succubus, she really doesn't have anything to bring to the table. And if you ask her, she'll change the subject. And if you're doing a job that isn't on her said level, like a corporate job, she's going to put you down for that too. Even though you could be making the same money that she is. In fact, there are a number of guys who are in trades who are making more money than women in the corporate world. The only difference between the corporate world and a trade is you use more hands-on with a trade and you push a lot more paper and it's a cleaner environment. I've worked on both sides. But it's funny when it comes to this old succubus, it comes to being a wife. She may have been married and divorced 2, 3, 4 times. Look at Elizabeth Taylor. She was married and divorced 7 times. She had money, but she went through husbands like they were nothing. And when we talk about swirlers, it's funny. And I'm talking about lesbian relationships with some of these older black women, like Wanda Sykes and Robin Roberts. Guess what? They're dealing with white women. They're not dealing with black women because they know that this modern black old succubus has a lot of problems. In fact, she's a big enemy. But again, I'm not specifying black or white. What I'm specifying is the problem of this westernized woman stems from the feminist-minded older woman who has hit the wall and she has nowhere to go, so she wants to shame everybody and she wants to bring everybody into her bitterness. And this is why I always say, when it comes to the number of these older women, don't argue with them. They're like that old dog, you just put them out. Because they had their chance. They blew it. I mean, you're not going to have kids out of wedlock and then come back and ask to be married. No, you put the cart before the horse. Or for the woman who has never been married and has no kids, and she's in her 40s and 50s and never been married, she'll tell you she hasn't found the right man. The problem is she's gone through too many men. So she's already loose. So her sexual market value is very low. But because Father Time has caught up with her, she wants to be married. But guess what? Men of means aren't checking for those types of women. What men want from a woman is peace and respect. They want a house of order. And a number of these older women bring bitterness. They bring deviance. Many of them are superficial. A number of them have entitlement issues. They're narcissistic. They're like children. And a number of them, they're misandrous. And they think they're the prize. And if you don't cater to them the way they should be catered to, they'll shame you by saying a real man would do X, Y, and Z for a woman. A real man is going to be a gentleman. See, a lot of these older succubi women, they want traditionalism while utilizing modern feminism at the same time. Those two are mutually exclusive. But she wants the best of both worlds because really, at the end of the day, she's looking to control the relationship. Guys, you got to understand this. When you deal with a number of these older women out here, they don't take direction. They want to give you direction. But they don't want to be responsible for that order if it doesn't go right. And that's the problem. A number of them envy men. They don't create anything new, but they imitate men. But they don't understand how men operate. We're logical. They're not logical. And a lot of these older women out here are very Machiavellian. They have a lot of psychopathy, and they're narcopaths. Again, they live in the dark triad, 666. They are female demons who are only there to grab more power to put you down as a man. And when I mean put you down, once they take the power away from you, you're out. You're done. But what these old, bitter women want from a man is his resources. You know, a number of them don't start getting into politics until that age catches up with them because they didn't save up for retirement. They're very bad with money. They're materialistic. And the funny thing about it is they're still expecting a top flight man, although they're not top flight. Again, a number of them, they have health problems. Many of them have CPAP machines, especially the ones who are extremely overweight. It's because they have sleep apnea. They didn't take care of themselves. They're over-medicated. A number of them, they just don't take care of themselves. Their skin is bad. A number of them don't know how to be feminine. They don't know how to be humble because they want to be like a man. And that's what we're going through. And feminism is nothing more than a Marxist, misandrist ideology. And it's been these old feminists who have destroyed families because they believe any woman who is with a man is being oppressed. But you notice, it's these women who don't have a man. And caution, a lot of you guys out there, don't take advice from a woman, especially if she has no man. Don't let her tell you what a man is because her definition of a man is going to be what you can do for her. Again, these older women out here are very narcissistic. They're children. You can't take them seriously. And again, they don't have anything to bring to the table. Many of them love to go to church to proclaim they love God. But if they did love God, they would honor God's hierarchy. God, man, woman, and child. Many of them try to be celibate. They call themselves born-again virgins. And here's what they want to do. They want you to continue to pay for them even if they don't give you sex. And at the end of the day, when it comes to these older women out here, they're not youthful. And when they hit the wall, their looks depreciate and they go by the wayside. And the worst thing is, they're not appreciative of what a man does because in her eyes, that's what he should be doing. A number of them are cold. They don't have a good heart. But when you put truth in their eyes, they think you hate women. Again, they love to deflect. They love constant combativeness. They don't listen. And this is why men aren't checking for them. Now, again, this is not all older women. Now, if you are an older woman out there and you become emotional about my video, you're the older woman that I'm talking about. If this is not you, you don't need to say anything because I know it's not all older women. But when I am making a general statement, the generalization is generally true. And I'm urging all you guys out there, you need to become red pill, MGTOW, or IGMOR, because it is going to get worse. But the real problem that you are facing when it comes to these westernized women are these old, bitter women. And all they can do is spout their useless opinions out about how men are, and they don't look at themselves. They're very contradictionary, or they talk in contradictions. Correction. Many of them don't even like themselves. They don't like other women. They're constantly living in these lies to make themselves feel good. Again, going back to the black community, this is why a number of them call themselves queens and divas. That's to make their dysfunction feel good. This is why a number of black women who are older black women tell you, well, I had to raise my kids all by myself. Well, you had them, did you not? And what they will not tell you is, I had kids by dusty guys. They don't want to tell you that because they want to make it like it's everybody else's fault, but their fault. Again, a number of them, they're high on being superficial. If you look at their dating profiles, they're asking for a knight in shining armor, but they don't have anything to bring to the table. They're always asking what you can give them. Notice what I said, what you can give them. But when you ask them what they can give you, they don't answer that question. Or they'll say something silly, I can give you my love, when a number of these women don't love men. They don't love themselves. So when you deal with a number of these older women, you're dealing with a creature who not only loves herself, she loves the institutions that promote her. Again, education, religion, media, corporate jobs, and of course, government. This is where she gets her power. And as older men, I'm going to put this in there. We let a lot of these women off the hook. We should have checked them in the 60s, 70s, and 80s while this feminism was taking place. We did not check them, so it was our fault because they slipped through the cracks, and now these older, bitter women believe that they can go out and do everything that a man does when it comes to sexual freedom. But what they don't understand is men, their genitals are exterior, while women's genitals are interior. And as a man, we're the ones who put the seed in these women. And a number of these women have had guys bust nut after nut after nut inside them, and they've taken on these dusty guys' energy, and it makes them bitter. And when they get to a guy of means, he takes all the strife. So, as a man, again, I'm not talking about all older women, but these older women are a problem. Again, a number of them are depressed. A number of them are sitting home. They're taking care of elderly parents. They're taking care of grown children. They put themselves in this predicament because they think they're super women. They think they do not need a man. And at the end of the day, women do need men. Because if it weren't for us, we wouldn't have a society. Because women don't build. Women live off of what we build for them, and they don't appreciate it. But when it comes to men, you got to know your value. Because these women think they have value based on their education. And again, we don't care about your degree. We don't care about your job. We don't care how many jobs you have. If you don't have the availability for us, don't look our way because you are wasting our time. You are not the prize. The man is the prize. The man is the leader. And if you think you can go to every man and disperse your vagina to every man and not take your money and sacrifice it to the relationship, guess what? You're going to be without a man. Because a relationship is about two people working together. But a number of women don't want to work with a man. They want him to have the table set for her. Meanwhile, she keeps all of her resources. And this is why a number of these older women are very selfish and delusional and schizophrenic. Some have Stockholm Syndrome. At the end of the day, these older women, they do not make wives at all because they believe more in their careers, in their college. They believe more in the institutions than they believe in having a husband. And a number of them still want to sleep with as many men as possible. A number of these older women are getting the same types of tattoos, the same types of hair colors as some of these younger women. But it's these older women who are teaching these younger women to be better just like them. And at the end of the day, what we want from a number of women is peace and respect. And we want to be appreciated. We do not have a long list of items. But don't go and throw your achievements in our faces because you're not achieving anything. You're being narcissistic, you're bitter, you're deviant, you're being a misandrist, and you have a nasty disposition, and you've hit the wall. And if we're going to work hard for somebody, we want to work hard for somebody who's been through less drama. Too many of you older women have gone through too much drama, and you wear it on your sleeve, and your life is nothing but drama, and all you do is cause strife. You don't have anything to offer us but bitterness. So the best thing a number of you older women need to do, just stay single, die alone, because it hurts to be lonely. But a number of you old succubi are going to continue to be lonely because you just don't take responsibility. You're in denial. Many of you are psychopaths. You have borderline personality disorders. You're not responsible people. And most of all, you don't have any respect for yourself, nor do you have any respect for men. And at the end of the day, as a red pill man, I want peace, not war. That's my commentary for this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show. If you like what you just heard, please comment, share, and subscribe. You can also catch me on Blog Talk Radio. My videos are also on Twitter and Facebook. Again, my name is Leon Jones. God bless you. Have a good night. I'm out.